One Commanders player says there is no gap between his team and the Eagles. Sure thing. We're going to let you hear his explanation, and you can decide he's wrong. But that's fine. Our Dallas Goddard also goes one-on-one to discuss his decision to stay here in Philadelphia and what the offense might look like this season. And Jahan Dotson, next on our list of top 25 most important Eagles. What could be in store for him here, year 2 in Philadelphia? And with that, we welcome you here to Birds Huddle, presented by Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL, alongside Dave Zagaro. I am Amy Fiddle, and the Eagles, you'll remember, hung 55 points on the Commanders in the NFC title game. So is there still a major gap between these two teams? Let's listen to this answer from Washington running back Austin Eckler on the Ross Tucker podcast.
Last year, there was a gap because they won the Super Bowl between them and everybody, but I don't think there is no gap. There's no gaps right now. The gap is neutral because, and here's why I say that. Look at our team last year. Look at the Washington Commanders at the very beginning of the season. Everyone would say there's a massive gap between the Commanders and this team. Well, you look back on the season, you're like, oh, maybe there wasn't. They were actually pretty good. So this gap talk, what do you mean? We could go out there and win 0 games. We could win 17 games, so we don't know. It's a fresh, new, clean slate.
Okay, I know you're not going to win 17 games. That one I do know. As we check out our 3-point stance presented by Toyota. First up, there is still a large gap between the Eagles and the Commanders. You're not buying what Austin Eckler is trying to sell you, Dave?
Oh, look, I get what he's saying. I get the clean slate of it all, but come on, what are we doing here? That means there's no gap between the Eagles and the Giants either because they haven't played any games yet? Like, what are we doing here? Eagles hung 55 on them in the championship game. The Commanders did beat them last season, you'll remember. Oh, yeah, in the game where Jalen Hurts got knocked out at the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. It's like, yeah, there's clearly a gap between these two teams. I don't think they're particularly close. The Eagles have the best roster, in my estimation, in the NFL. The Commanders are a good team. They were a good team last year. I don't necessarily love everything they've done to build their team. Not only do the Eagles have the better roster right now, they're built better for the next 5 years, next 10 years. They have a younger team. They've built through the draft, whereas the Commanders are paying money in free agency. They're bringing in older players like Laramie Tunsil and Deebo Samuel, which might work out for a year. But the Eagles, you look at the Eagles, and they've drafted so well. Their entire defense is homegrown. On offense, they're full of stars. They're returning 10 of 11 from the Super Bowl team. So, yeah, there's a gap.
Yeah, I appreciate Austin Eckler feeling himself because he's got a quarterback now there in Washington, but come on. Dude.
And that's like, look.
That's good. Listen, that's good.
That's
good
the
job.
way he should feel. The problem is that's going to end up on a bulletin board somewhere. And
there's no gap.
And the context gets removed pretty quickly from whatever he said. And if that gets back to the Eagles, that's the way you manufacture a beef in your mind. And you say, hey, people are doubting us. They think they're as good as us down there in Washington. That's the way these things work. So I'm curious to see if that'll make its way into the Eagles locker room.
Yeah, I feel like there's a Mind the Gap T-shirt somewhere
in
there that someone will wear. I'll work on that. Second stance, Jalen Hurts just wants to win. Hurts' agent, Nicole Lynn, gave an interview last season that is currently making the rounds again on social media. In it, she describes what the quarterback's mindset was during contract negotiations after the 2022 season. Let's take a listen.
He's like, don't screw the team. Make sure my team is around me. And so I actually remember coming back to him and the day that the deal was done and saying, hey, you're the highest paid player in NFL history. And his response was, well, I didn't ask you to do all that. And I was just like, okay. All right. Thanks. I thought you were going to say, thank you, good job. Yeah, But he was so concerned about his team. Like, how am I going to keep my team around? How are these guys still going to be paid? And he wanted me to show him. How does it affect the cap? So the option bonuses help Jalen to have peace that, hey, don't worry that you're getting $51 million a year. We've done it this way so it doesn't affect the cap. The cap hit is not that large. Like, he needed to be educated on that before he would let me accept the deal because he cared so much about his teammates.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. He's certainly given the Eagles their money's worth in trying to make sure everybody's okay around there because they have been able to keep the team together for the most part, especially on the offensive side.
Yeah, it's nice to know Jalen needed a little instruction course on the salary cap. The rest of us do as well. Yeah, but that's the way the Eagles structure these things to kind of maximize the cap value, and they push it down the line. But eventually, you know how these things work. The cap gets bigger and bigger, and it becomes less of a percentage of the overall salary cap down the line. But, I mean, this is who he is. He wants to win. I think back to the Super Bowl, and there was that mic'd up clip where he's talking to Grant Calcaterra, and he tells him the last one changed his soul. And then we're talking to him at his locker a few days after they win the Super Bowl, and he's still talking about how much losing the one in 22 kind of changed him as a person, and how like winning this one still paled in comparison to losing that last one. That's the kind of crazy winner stuff that you get from these level athletes, and it works for him. And yeah, he wants to win. I get that. That's the one thing you can't say anything bad about him. And we can sit here and argue, well, where does he belong on this list? Is he the dude wants to win, and he's the right quarterback for this team, and that's really all that matters.
Yeah, and he's shown that repeatedly on the field and apparently also off of it. Our third stance: the Eagles could use some stability next to Lane Johnson. So, Dave, you have a great piece right now on our website, NBCSportsPhiladelphia.com, about the revolving door that they've really had at the right guard spot next to their all-pro right tackle. He's going to have yet another new player next to him this year. So what do you make of that?
It's pretty amazing that he's been able to keep this level of play no matter who's next to him. And he kind of hit his peak with that right guard spot with Brandon Brooks in that 3-4 year window where Brooks was a Pro Bowl player, really good. Before then, a bunch of different players at right guard. After that, a bunch of different players. You see it there. And last year had a really good thing going with Mekhi Becton. He's now gone. So now you kind of plug in either Tyler Steen or Matt Pryor. He has played next to both of those two. Those are two of the 13 right guards he's played next to in his long career. So it really has been. You think back at some of the names like early in his career, Matt Tobin and Andrew Gardner, all these different guys. And Lane has just been excellent no matter who's next to him. And that's the thing about the right guard spot here in Philly is like, yeah, it's probably going to be the weak spot on that offensive line, but you have 4 excellent players on the line, Lane being the best of the best, one of the best Eagles we've ever seen.
Some of those names are going to be trivia answers one day.
I feel like they already are,
on this very question, in this very program, we're going to have them. Maybe we'll have one.
It is impressive, though. Like, you think about the left side of the line.
Yeah,
you have Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, all those snaps together. Lane every year just has to figure it out.
Shakes the hand of the guy. All right, see you this year. Let's check out the playbook now, presented by Supercuts. On the other side, our top 25 most important Eagles countdown continues with number 24. Plus, John Clark goes one-on-one with Dallas Goedert on why he wanted to stay here in Philly. And we debate the lasting image of Super Bowl 59 as a mural to commemorate the Eagles' title is unveiled. This is Bird's Huddle, presented by Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL.